big black cows, guys. BBC, big black cows. That's the only thing that could possibly mean to me. And we got to start thinking about pasture management. It's coming up real fast on us. So we got to figure out what the heck we're doing and start making decisions. So we'll go through that in a minute. But the cows here, we're not trying to get big cows. We just happen to have big cows. So some of the mom cows, they seem to be running at 13 to 15 on average. A couple of them are getting close to 17. But when you got a big one like 12, 10, 11 right over there, 13 is right around the corner. Look at 8. 8's right there. That's her back. And number 7, that's 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, and 13. That generation, they got big. They got real big. You're talking most of them girls are 15 to 1700. And then the next generation behind them would be like this one in front of us. 15 with her head right there. They're that, 13 to 1500, 18. But when you look, this is 9 and 10% hay, guys. This isn't rockstar alfalfa like we normally feed, but this is what we feed for that 8th and 9th month of gestation, that last term of gestation. I'm still old school thinking that you lower the feed quality so the calf doesn't get so big and explosive. I don't know if that's still true anymore or not, but other than a couple big calves, just ungodly genetic freak of a calf, most of the calves come out that little 50 to 70 pound peanut. And I have no pride in saying we got tiny little calves because they just fall right out these cows. They hit that ground and they are up and running. I will take a 50 to 70 pound calf every day of the week over that big thing we call Shrek. Because it takes them days and weeks before they even get up and going, really. But we are picking good bulls. So for the younger heifers, it's 100% easy calving is our focus. For the older, the more experienced heifers and cows, we are picking bulls that are fast growing, might not be so easy calving, but they are just performance. They're 6-figure bulls. You're buying $30 and $40 and $50 straws, but it shows. You can see in the quality of the calves. It shows. The other nice trait we got going on is small udders. Like number 11's with her white makes a nice contrast. You can see how high and tight that udder is. Is that 39 right there? That's an old cow, and look how tiny that udder is. I love it. I absolutely love it because that small udder we're never gonna lose a cow because her udder fails, or we hope. But the other thing is, them calves within a couple weeks have outgrown that milk production of that cow, and then they're on to feed and water very quickly, and that calf does a whole lot better eating hay than mom trying to make milk for that calf. My opinion, I don't have any proof of that, but I'm just saying from a feed efficiency standpoint and from body condition of these calves, you'd have a hard time convincing me that I'm lying to ya. I know everybody says you can't have these big cows because they're not efficient. You'd be better off with small cows, and maybe someday we do start bringing in some more Angus and less Simmental and start bringing that body size down. I can't argue with that, but at the same time, what we have is working very well. This year we had poor feed quality, and it shows on the steers. Normally on the steers at 17, 18, 19 months, they're between that 1,100 and 1,300 pounds, 100% grass fed. That's impressive genetics. That is amazing genetics, especially for us here, because they went through 2 winters to get to that, which is that much more impressive. And so I think the quality of genetics say we can feed poor feed like that, 9 and 10% protein hay, and you can take that cow that can, look at the little 19 here. She's one of the small ones. You can take that little cow, she can spit out that calf and be nursing, and she's and feeding that poor quality hay coming out of winter, and you still can't find a rib. Can't find a rib at all. Look at that. You can't even find that her stomach there. That's nice. That is impressive. Pasture management side of stuff. So I think next week the weather's supposed to get good. So what we want to try doing, this is a 30 acre, not quite a half mile long, only a few hundred feet wide, 500 feet, whatever. I wouldn't mind cutting it into quarters. And right now this is our sacrifice area. So we're still feeding here. It's where we fed all winter, but we're still feeding here to try to keep them off of the pasture. We're not going to hot wire them in because the pasture ground is in really good condition. You can see where it goes from mud to good real quick. So if they want to roam a little bit, let them roam a little bit. They're cows. They're made for walking. They got 4 feet. They can feed themselves. But we want to keep them up here on feed as long as we can to give the pasture as much head start as we can. Get it cut into fourths. And then pasture number 3 up by the woods there. That one's going to get even more head start. And then very quickly, couple days in each bay, boom, 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 and then walk them across to over there, boom, 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 move them through them couple bays, bring them right back, boom, 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 and move them quick so they hardly eat much of that grass down. You're taking that top 30% maybe and get them to the next bay and the next bay, and just keep doing that until we start to see slowing down of growth. Then you slow down the rotation a little bit, but keep measuring that growth. I don't know how well it's always going to work out. We're still trying to figure this pasture thing out. I guess it's one of the things that a lot of people would be very happy with how our system's working, but maybe it's the mechanic in you that all you want to do is just keep fine-tuning. What we got is working just fine, but we want to fine-tune, see if we can get a little more efficiency on the acres, and that kind of deal. And then the alfalfa field across the way that they grazed all last year or last spring, we'll take first cutting, put corn into it, and then be very aggressive with the cover crops into that corn, and then right behind that corn, pop that hot wire up and get them out grazing on that field again as well. Things are starting to come together. All these years of growing the herd, holding everything back, and growing the herd and getting pastures and wells and water lines and all that stuff, it's all starting to come together. So now this will be the first generation of calves that we have everything to sell. I mean, we'll hold back some heifers, but everything will be getting raised for butcher to sell for money. And look at, man, it's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Man, it's kind of fun when they're beautiful like that. We're trying to focus on health and low stress, and I think it works. I think it's paying off. I'm not an expert beef guy. I'm just saying, lots of luck and a little bit of hard work and skill, and we're getting it figured out. But that's our early decision making. Pasture 2, that clover, oh, that is coming in so beautiful. That will be our hay for winter time. And the other thing, so I wanted to bale graze up on the hill, and it'd be nice to be rolling bales out. But this works as good as a sacrifice area. But in the past, this would all be up at the feedlot, and any nutrients that wash through would be in the lagoon. Now any nutrients that wash through is in the soil below us. So we'll just take the tines on the Massey and pull this all up this summer when mud season's over and crops are in. We can pull all this up, clean it up, and then just haul it up the hill and spread it where we think we want it, versus hauling it down the road and then up the hill. So we're slowly getting better. And the cool thing is yeah, we had 50 or 60 bales off this field that are under here somewhere, and then you've got several hundred more bales here that get spread back out onto the field. And so it'll be interesting to see what the soil is going to look like underneath this. And oh boy, here he comes. Look at that guy. He's already very masculine looking. He already has a little bit of a crest when he lifts his head up. I can't get him to lift his head up. You get a little bit of a crest already. Very masculine. Woof. Look at that guy. Fat. That's a 300-pound calf at 2 months old. That's pretty amazing. It'll be interesting in a month or so. After crops are in, we'll run them through, weigh them. Boys will get nutted and banded, and the heifers will get banded. Everybody gets vaccinated on the calves. A lot of work to do yet. Get it, buddy. Get it. He's just so funny. All right. That's enough yapping, guys. Thanks for watching.